So welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K25 Next Gen. In today's video, we are back with another episode of our offseason rebuild series, and today's going to be the Boston Celtics. When you really think about it, life is just full of pain. What really is the true purpose? Obviously, I am hurting this morning. The Celtics have been eliminated. They are my team, and what was looking like a potential 3 to 4 year run of nothing but NBA Finals appearances has slowly but surely come to a very, very immediate end. Of course, really the biggest domino to fall in all of this would be Jason Tatum's Achilles injury. He is going to miss likely the entirety of next season. The Celtics are going to be cutting costs this offseason very, very shortly. And yeah, it sucks. As a Celtics fan, there's really no way around it. I mean, I think back to exactly where I was a year ago right now, and I was a whole lot happier in life. And now, reality has slowly but surely hit me that this team is probably going to be very much middle of the pack, if not worse, next year. Our goal today is to rebuild said team, hopefully get them another championship. As always, let me know any other video ideas down below in the comment section. We are, of course, continuing to do the offseason rebuilds. There are now only 4 teams left. Conference finals season, so everybody else that we have yet to do is on the table. Of course, we're going to have some prospect rebuilds as well. The way I'm thinking about that is the teams that are, picking high in the draft and we're doing pre-draft prospect rebuilds with, I'll kind of combine that with their off-season rebuilds. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense for me to do kind of both of them. So let me know anything and everything you guys are looking to see down below in the comment section. I would say I am excited for this one today, but I am really just kind of hurting at this point. So I'll try to keep my emotion out of it. I promise. Let's get into it. First and foremost, before we get into this video, I just wanted to put it out there that I'm not one of those delusional ass Celtics fans that think they only lost the series because Jason Tatum tore his Achilles. They lost 2 games on their home floor, both of which they blew 20-point leads. They had absolutely no business doing that. The New York Knicks were 0-10 throughout the regular season against the best 3 teams in the league at the time. That would be the Celtics, the Cavaliers, and the Oklahoma City Thunder. And of course, 2 of the 3 of those teams are now out, and the New York Knicks beat one very much fair and square against the Boston Celtics. So I'm not going to sit here and blame the injury bug. The only real thing with Jason Tatum is right now the future of this franchise. Sucks to see his injury. That's not the reason the Celtics lost this series. Let's just put that out there. There are much bigger issues. I see some delusional ass Celtics fans on Twitter being like, oh, the 3-1 lead would have been evaporated if Jason Tatum was playing. No, it would not have been. All right, let's talk about this team. We'll go position by position. Of course, it is a loaded roster, at least here on paper, but there are definitely going to be some pretty major changes with this team coming in the offseason. So Jrue Holiday is certainly one of those guys that's, might end up being traded. He's 35 years old, can still occasionally give you a bit of a spark plug offensively, has in some ways kind of become more of a catch and shoot type guy, but ultimately is still a really, really elite defensive player. I'm not sure how easy his contract's going to be to move off of. He's making, 35-some million over the next couple seasons, then has a player option after that. So, it's not the easiest contract in the world to move. It never was going to be when the Celtics gave him the extension. But, if this is it for Jrue, I am nothing but appreciative. He was an absolutely fundamental piece in getting this team over the hump, and I really wish him the best going forward. Peyton Pritchard won 6th Man of the Year. He is still, in my opinion, on one of the best contracts in all of basketball. Whether or not he's elevated into a starting role next season, that is very much up in the air, but it would not surprise me whatsoever, especially if Holiday does get moved. Davidson's a 2-way player, probably never really. He's like a professional G League player. Like, if I think of this in like baseball terms, he's not like a AAA player. He's like a quadruple A player. Like, he's not good enough for the majors, consistently, but he's way better than everybody else in AAA. So we move to the shooting guard spot. I've seen some delusional ass fan bases out there saying maybe they should trade for Derek White this offseason. I don't know. You want to add for, do you want to trade for Jokic or LeBron while you're at it? No. Obviously, Derek White is none of those guys, but he is such a fundamental piece in what the Celtics have done well for such a long time. He's 31 years old at this point. He's an 87 overall. Got a big fat extension after they won it all last season, and in my opinion, should not be one of the pieces the Celtics look to move this offseason. I understand out of everybody they're trying to trade or hypothetically trying to trade, he's probably one of the easier guys to move because there'll be a lot of interest in him clearly, but he's only 31. If he was Drew's age, I think it would be much more likely that they'd consider a deal for him, but if Tatum's back in a year and a half, whatever it is, Derek's still going to be a really important piece of this team. And I do think there are times that he can be the second best Celtic. Baylor Shireman was an older rookie who certainly did not get consistent playing time. When he did play, I thought he showed some spark. I do think he could be a rotation piece for this team next year. So again, when you draft older rookies, tend to be what you want to see out of them. The small forward spot, Jaylen Brown. Let's talk about it. Jaylen Brown confuses me sometimes. I love him like I love pretty much every other Celtic. He aggravates me so much sometimes, but He's going to be on this team for the foreseeable future, in my opinion. He played through what was likely pretty much since March or February on a partially torn meniscus. And again, I'm not throwing that into the excuse category. It's just the reality of the situation. Jalen looked very similar to his 2023 self against the Knicks in that series. It felt very Miami Heat series-esque. His dribble is still never going to be good. It's unfortunate. You think it would be. I do think there are times that he makes some questionable decisions in terms of facilitating, but he's going to be the second best player on this team for the foreseeable future. I am not going to be trading him. I think he's going to be a key piece for year to come, even if he is, a very expensive player, obviously. Oh my God, send Sam Hauser to Guantanamo Bay or Siberia or literally anywhere besides my basketball team. This dude went from one of the best spot-up shooters in the world to an absolute bum after he got $44 million in free agency. So I don't know what the hell happened to Sam Hauser. I mean, he was never an elite defensive player, but he turned into an absolute turnstile. He's 27 years old, can certainly still knock down some shots when you need him to, but not for that price tag. No, thank you. Jordan Walsh, I don't know if he'll ever get consistent playing time. I haven't seen a lot of development out of him since he ended up getting drafted by the Celtics in round 2 back in 2023, but ultimately he is still young. There hasn't really got consistent playing time. Anything's possible. Of course, we talk about Jason Tatum and his Achilles injury. There's really no way around it. It's one of the worst things that's ever happened to me. It's one of the worst things that's ever happened to the Celtics, and it seriously puts some doubt in what next season looks like for this team. I mean, there was going to be cost cutting no matter what, but when you add in the Tatum Achilles injury and that he'll likely not be back for at minimum a calendar year, I think it kind of expedites that process and kind of makes some decisions a little bit easier. Backup power forward spot certainly going to be an area we look to address. Craig and Tillman are not going to be options for us. Tingus Pingus, oh my God, dude. I will say, the Kristaps Porzingis trade, on paper anyways, was at least a success. Brad Stevens got 2 first-round draft picks and Kristaps Porzingis from Marcus fucking Smart. I mean, let's just be real with what the reality is at this point. Unfortunately, this dude has some sort of illness that I'm pretty sure is in his lungs. He was absolutely useless against both the Orlando Magic and the New York Knicks, and ultimately he is definitely going to be playing somewhere else next season. Now, he's an expiring contract. Those tend to be pretty valuable. Whether or not he's sent to a contender or a miserable hellhole like the Utah Jazz, that's still very much up in the air. But Porzingis, buddy, I appreciate your time here. Unfortunately, it's coming to an end. Uncle Al, I really hope this isn't the end. It probably is going to be. It feels more and more every day like Al Horford's probably going to retire. He certainly can still play at a pretty high level, but at this point, what's really, the goal? I don't think he wants to play anywhere else. And of course, the Celtics, 99% chance won't be contending next season. So really, what is it for Al Horford? If this is the end, it's nothing but gratitude. He was an absolutely fantastic Celtic. He was really the first piece that kind of turned things around. He took a chance at signing with us, and of course it paid off with a ring in the end. Luke Cornett's going to get a payday this offseason. I hope it's from the Celtics. He was, without a doubt, our best big man throughout the playoffs. And then finally, Neemias Queta, who, again, still can't believe got a 2-year extension because he doesn't play. So let's get into the offseason. Brad Stevens, Joe Mazzulla is sitting here. He made some questionable coaching decisions at times. It felt, again, very similar to Jaylen Brown. It felt kind of close to what he did in 2023, where Joe Mazzulla was obviously in his first season as a head coach. Just really bad choices in terms of timeouts, really bad choices in ATOs. It just felt like he was kind of, out-coached by Tom Thibodeau. And Tibbs isn't a bad coach. I don't want to make that something, but Joe Mazzulla needs to do better. He's a championship-winning head coach, and at this point, I need to see more from him. And you're definitely going to see some, real coaching next season when this team isn't looking as good as they are on paper. So, by the way, this is an unrealistic rebuild. They said Tatum's Achilles injury is miraculously healed. It's not. He's not playing next season for us here in this video. So I think we have, the 28th overall pick, something like that? That's definitely not nothing. I may consider a trade. We also have 2 second-round picks as well. Let's see what we can do. I'd like to combine all of the draft picks we have right now, at least the ones I'm willing to move, and try to move up a little bit higher into the first round. The Orlando Magic have the 16th overall selection. This is obviously our first round pick and every other second round pick we have. And we're going to try to find a way to get this deal done. So I don't want to give up anything else in terms of value. So that's 16. Whoops, no, thank you. 18 from the Wizards. Okay, that's fine. I think that's kind of our best bet at this point, kind of pushing everything we have in and trying to get, not an elite player, but somebody who's just a little bit better. Austin Newell, somebody I've drafted before. I certainly don't want to do it every single video, but not only is power forward a pretty big position of need, he's also the best player sitting here. So Austin Newell is going to be our draft pick there at number 18. He's 74 overall. Nothing on team player options. Qualifying Drew Peterson, probably not. And we're going to head into free agency. And I mean, the good news for this team is, there's not a lot of major free agents here. So Al Horford decided to play one more season. I think out of respect, I'm just going to let him go. If he wants to go play for a contender, he's more than welcome to. But at this point, we know we're going to see some regression with Al. It just doesn't really make a whole lot of sense for me. So Luke Cornett, who's definitely going to get more than, $4 million annually. He's somebody I'd like to extend. J.D. Davison can probably go. It pains me so much to see Al Horford go for another team for one season, but it's okay. But getting Luke Cornett back was easily the biggest thing that we had to do in this offseason. And again, just one more time to emphasize, this is not a realistic rebuild. The trades I'm going to make are not going to be realistic. So, when Porzingis is gone, if he is, if Drew Holiday, just understand that. I have no idea why the Houston Rockets want to do this, but we're going to say thank you. We're going to shake their hands, and we're going to take the trade. Kristaps Porzingis and Alperen Şengün, basically a one-for-one swap. There's also a second-round pick involved here. Again, not sure why Houston's willing to, but I'm going to say thank you. And then in a very similar department, no idea. Do not understand. Drew Holiday, Sam Hauser, Neemias Queta going to Phoenix for Devin Booker. I have no idea. I genuinely have no idea. If I wanted to do a realistic rebuild, of course, none of those other trades are happening, but Devin Booker, now the Boston Celtics. So I think we have pretty much established the way I wanted to do this. Tatum is still going to be out next season. I'm not going to change my mind on that. So I'm not sure who's going to start at the power forward spot for us, whether it's Asa Newell. Certainly not going to be Xavier Tillman Sr. We definitely need to figure out something there just in terms of depth. We're making a free agent signing, and it is notable Celtic killer Caleb Martin. Going to bring him in on a 2-year deal. Whether or not he's starting or Asa Newell is starting, that's still very much up for interpretation. But obviously with Tatum having the Achilles injury, I'm going to certainly put that back on, and we will go from there. So it's going to be a pretty big gaping hole for one season, but after that, it's something we can sort out. I wouldn't mind trying to upgrade either the backup shooting guard or small forward spot. They both do have some team control after this next season, but I don't think it would be the worst idea. Like if I move Jordan Walsh and Xavier Tillman and then a second-round pick, like is there any other backup small forward? Like AJ Green's not a bad option, and then we get a draft pick as well. All right, I think I'll live with that. Bring in a little bit more shooting off the bench, even if it is only a 1-year deal, kind of, a little bit of a little bit of a Sam Hauser replacement. You get what I'm trying to say. All right, man. I'll see you guys at the start of year number 1. Year 1 here in Boston. We are ready to go. I have established the starting 5 in the 10-man rotation in its entirety. And, of course, it's looking a whole lot better than the Celtics are actually going to look. Because, thankfully, here in 2K, there's not really any sort of, real hard cap or anything like that. Still not sure how we got Devin Booker. Of course, Derek White going to be our 2 guard. Jaylen Brown still here at our 3. 2K suggests I start Caleb Martin, so it's what I'm going to go with. And then, of course, got Alperen Şengün. Yeah, I have no idea what the Phoenix Suns or Houston Rockets were thinking in these 2 trades, but again, really, really appreciative of it. The bench is okay. It definitely falls off a bit after Cornett, but it is what it is for now. Pritchard and Cornett going to be our 6th and 7th man. We brought in AJ Green in a deal with the Milwaukee Bucks. Asa Newell will be my backup power forward, and finally Baylor Shireman rounding out this 10-man rotation. So, this is still a good team. Let's not get that confused. I do think ultimately we are going to be, maybe even a top 4 seed here in what is a pretty weak Eastern Conference, but, is this team truly a contender? I guess we'll find out. See you guys at the end of year number 1. Perhaps I was being a bit delusional when I said this could possibly be a top 4 team in the East, because we go 38-44, and it was a very, very pitiful season. Now, I understand the Eastern Conference is certainly weaker, and maybe that ends up as a play-in team, but nonetheless, we're probably not winning anything. SGA, your MVP, Cooper Flag does win Rookie of the Year in Dallas. You got DiVincenzo coming off the bench, taking home 6th Man of the Year. In Minnesota, Giannis ends up staying with the Bucks. He wins Depoy. Men Thompson, Most Improved. Luka, Clutch Player of the Year, and 63-19 there in Dallas. Gives Jason Kidd a Coach of the Year. All right, it is time for the standings. Oh my God, this conference. Not a single team won more than 48 games. Relegate this conference, please, for the love of God. All right, let's talk about some of the numbers here for this group. Points per game going to be Booker, Brown, Şengün. You got Derek White at only about 13. You got Pritchard, Martin, Newell, Green, Cornett, and then Shireman. The rebounding department, we are led by Şengün, and then assists is going to also be Şengün. So, we are in the play-in because, again, this conference is absolutely dreadful. LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller. You got Peyton Watson now here in the starting 5. Bridges, Mark Williams, Nick Smith Jr., Clint Capella. We end up winning that, so if we beat Brooklyn here, we're going to go on and take on Cleveland in the first round of the playoffs. The Brooklyn Nets somehow added OG Anunoby and Max Strus, Jeremiah Fears in here as well. Okay, and we end up winning that one as well. So we are in the playoffs. We're taking on the Cavaliers, who, again, how do you add Josh Giddey to this team? Where are we getting the money for Josh Giddey, right? $24 million bucks? Kind of came out of your asses. All right, well, let's see what happens here. We go up 2-0. Oh, my God. Now they win the next 2, and they win game 3, and I can always tell what is going to happen in these situations. All right, just curious. I'll take a look at the playoff stats here real quick. Not bad. Not the greatest series out of Şengün. I mean, he's 39% from the field. All right. I mean, we know that this season was not a throwaway year, but we knew we had to, get really, really lucky to do anything. So we end up losing in round one. Cooper Flagg leads the Dallas Mavericks to a Western Conference Finals victory, and Evan Mobley doing the same there in Cleveland. And, oh my God, Kyrie, Cooper Flagg, Anthony Davis, you're champs here in year one. All right, LeBron James calling it career. Al Horford spent a year in Minnesota before officially hanging it up. And we are going to get into now an offseason that I don't know how much real, movement there's going to be. Of course, we're going to have Tatum back, which will certainly be nice, but I don't really suspect any other major trades. I mean, maybe we do something. I think Joe Mazzulla doesn't deserve to lose his job. I'm pissed at him at the moment, but he's going to likely be the Celtics head coach for the long haul. All right, it is time for the 2026 draft. We have the 15th overall pick. I'll definitely take that. I've come to the decision that our best course of action here is to draft somebody at 15. Of course, we could also make a trade, maybe upgrade our backup shooting guard or small forward spot, but both AJ Green and Baylor Scheierman are expiring at the moment. So let's draft somebody. I have no idea who it's going to be. Koa Pete could make some sense. Looks like he's a highly rated prospect here, and of course is a position of need. So Koa Pete, welcome to Boston. 6'8", 235 pounds. Out of Arizona. He's going to come in at a 75 overall. Okay, Scheierman will be brought back. I do think I'd like to upgrade that shooting guard spot. While he may have some further development, it's certainly not as much as I was initially hoping for. And then I think AJ Green will probably just let go because, of course, we likely did just draft his replacement. So at this point, we are in a really good spot. Of course, it is nice having Mr. Jason Tatum back. So maybe one more trade before we head into year two. So there were actually no trades that I liked, and Jacoby Walter was sitting here in free agency. Looks like he was released. 21 years old, he's 6'5" and 79 overall. So I'm gonna offer him a contract. Welcome to Boston. He's gonna slide into that backup shooting guard role quite nicely for me. So I don't have to trade Scheierman. He still has another year of team control, which is gonna be good. So I'll hang on to him. But Caleb Martin, who's expiring and really just no longer needed here, can be on his way out. So we'll send him Chicago for a first-round pick in 2027. So this team is looking elite on paper heading into year number two. Of course, we are likely going to be back in the mix for not only winning the Eastern Conference next year, but hopefully a championship as well. So I'll see you guys at the start of year number two. Second season for us here in Boston has officially arrived. Of course, year one wasn't a complete throwaway season, but we really didn't have major expectations. Now, with Jason Tatum back, this team is fully established, and those expectations are certainly through the roof. Devin Booker, Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Alperen Şengün. Bench unit, Peyton Pritchard, of course, picked up Jacoby Walter, who was released, and he's now up to an 80 overall. Asa Newell's up to a 78. Luke Cornett is actually down to a 76. It's fine. And then finally, Koa Pete, who, of course, we drafted 15th overall, will be my backup small forward. So that's the team. I think we've done a better job of course, improving this team all around. I mean, adding a 93 overall superstar definitely helps that. And the bench, I would say, is better as well. So I'll see you guys at the end of our second season. We end season number two with a record of 54-28. I wouldn't say it's anything bad. I just think this team could have been better. But, of course, nonetheless, it is a very large improvement over what we did in year one. Jokic back winning MVPs. You got Cameron Boozer, your rookie of the year. He's a Chicago Bull. Josh Giddey, now a member of the Dallas Mavericks, is your sixth man. You got Wemby winning Depoy. Rob Dillingham, most improved. De'Aaron Fox, who is now a Portland Trailblazer, wins clutch player of the year. And Chris Finch, 65-17 there in Minnesota. Good God. We are the 2 seed here in the Eastern Conference. We had the tiebreaker over the Atlanta Hawks, only one game behind the Indiana Pacers. So we're going to find out now if this core is truly built for it. Looks like the scoring is pretty spread out as we had 3 guys at 20.5 points per game or higher. Şengün, Derek White, you got Newell, Pritchard, Walter, Pete, and then Cornett. Okay, let's get into it. Rebounding department, Şengün. Assists also goes to Şengün. So, round one of the playoffs. It is going to be us and the Orlando Magic. Jalen Suggs, Tim Hardaway Jr., you got Franz Wagner, Ben Caro, Jalen Williams, Anthony Black, Jakob Poeltl. How on earth is Jalen Williams not starting over, or how is he starting over Jakob Poeltl? Nonetheless, we're down 3-1, and we get bounced in 5. I think we went to 6 last year as an 8 seed. What a horrible, horrible way to end year number 2. Oh boy, Jason Tatum, buddy, I need a little bit more. This is a brutal series out of Şengün once again, and just can't really have it, man. Just a disappointing end. What an awful way. Holy fucking shit. What an awful way to go out. Nuggets win it all. Jokic, your finals MVP. All right, well, it is do or die time here with the Celtics because, of course, we are entering the final offseason before our final regular season and hopefully final playoff run, and we have yet to come out of the first round. So I'm a little bit nervous right now. I am a little nervous. I am not going to lie to you. We are picking at number 16 via the Chicago Bulls. Then we have our own pick as well at number 26. Do I keep Joe? Do I keep Joe Mazzulla? who here would be a better option than him? I mean, maybe Nick Nurse. Ty Lue. Thibs is here as well. All right, I think Missoula has to go. Joe, I love you, buddy, but end of the day, I'm trying to win a championship here. So we're going to, nope, not Joe. Ty Lue, and hopefully one of these two is willing to accept. Ty Lue is welcome to Boston. I don't know. All right, we have 2 first-round picks. One of, if not both, could certainly be included in a trade. Maybe I'll see you guys with a move. We're going to try to use a familiar strategy that's worked a few times so far in this video, sending our 2 first-round picks to a team with a higher selection than us. So the Brooklyn Nets have the 10th overall pick. This is number 16. This is number 20-something, whatever it is. And I'd like to move up to number 10 right now. So unfortunately, I don't have a lot of other assets. I'm not willing to include another first in this. So we're just going to go down the list one by one, and hopefully somebody says yes eventually. So who has number 11 overall? That's going to be the Houston Rockets. They're not willing to do that. Oh boy, here we go. This could take a minute. Now, who has number 12? That's a second-round pick at number 12. It is going to be the Nets as well, and they agree to that. All right, so we'll draft somebody there. The main reason for this is that, unfortunately, all the trades I've really been trying to find haven't been working, whether that's for money, whether that's for, you know, a million other reasons. We obviously making the draft pick makes a little bit more sense for me. So we are going to make a trade. You know, who that is, I'm not yet certain, but I do think an upgrade is out there, and I'm definitely going to try to make it. Oh, wow. I cannot believe the New York Knicks accepted that. Okay, well, the trade has been made. Kind of the irony in all of this is Jalen Brunson is currently the man who ended the Celtics season, him and the New York Knicks, obviously. We sent out Derek White, Luke Cornett, and Taj Ariza, who, of course, we just drafted with, what, the 12th overall pick, something like that. So Brunson is clearly a nice upgrade in this starting 5. It also allows Booker to move back to maybe what is his more natural position of shooting guard anyways. So at this point, I'm not really sure what other major moves are out there for us. We definitely need to find ourselves a new backup center. And I think that's really going to be it. So, I mean, if Baylor Shireman can get me a center, I'll take it. If not, I'll just see who's available in free agency. But, yeah, I can just get Luke Cornett back. No. I think I'd like to maybe Oso Iguodaro. It's actually not bad. So let me take this trade, and then if there's not anybody better in free agency, which I doubt there will be when there's not, that's going to be it for moves. So we have yet to come out of the first round. We are incredibly nervous heading into year number 2 right now, or year number 3, excuse me, but this team is absolutely loaded. There's 590-plus overalls on this team. It has to be championship or bust. The time truly has to be now, right? You'd think, anyways. I mean, look at this starting 5. 92 overall Jalen Brunson, 92 overall Devin Booker, 91 overall Jaylen Brown, 94 overall Jason Tatum, 90 overall Alperen Şengün. This team is clearly loaded. There is no denying that. The talent has been here pretty much the entire video. Bench unit, Peyton Pritchard remains my 6th man. Asa Newell, Jacoby Walter, Koa Pete, and Oso Iguodaro. All right, man, this has to be the team. I truly, genuinely believe it. I'm going to lose my goddamn mind if it is not. Of course, new head coach as well with Ty Lue. So here goes nothing, man. See you guys at the end of year number 3. Thankfully, year 3 was our best season to date. 68-14 is going to be the final record, and hopefully banner number 19 is well on its way. Speaking of guys who are already on their way, and, well, already arrived, really, Victor Wembanyama out here winning his first career MVP. Brandon McCoy, Rookie of the Year in New Orleans. Giddey, I think, what is this, his 3rd straight 6th man of the year? Wemby also wins another DPOY. Trey Johnson, Most Improved. Cade Cunningham, Clutch Player of the Year. And our new head coach, Tyronn Lue, is your Coach of the Year. Okay, I am hoping that the time is now. We had the best record in the league, pretty, far margin on that one. And everything is here, man. The talent is very, very evident. So let's just go out and win the damn thing. Round 1, going to be us in the Miami Heat. Oh, boy. I will say, dude, oh, my God. I saw, so many people talking about, the late, 2010s, 2018 through, 2019, and then, 2020 up to, 2023. Those battles between, the Celtics and the Heat, the Celtics and the Bucks and the Heat, those were so much fun, man. And I have never in my life been more stressed out as a Celtics fan throughout them, man. We had it so good. We had it so damn good. And I'm really hoping that, the new era of Eastern Conference teams, if you will, is truly able to replicate that. Because those were some special years, man. They really were. All right, we end up sweeping the Miami Heat. Moving on to the Cleveland Cavaliers. You got Garland Mitchell, Jalen Tyson. You got Mobley, Jared Allen. This is another really good team. They made the NBA Finals last year. I'd like to beat them and hopefully advance to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in this video. Yet to lose a playoff game as we are taking on the Atlanta Hawks, who have, well, I guess you can say brought back Luka Doncic. They drafted him. Trey Mann, Zachary Rivers-Shea, Jalen Johnson, and Kongu. They're a good squad, no denying that. Maybe they have the best player in the series. You're up to, interpret that at least your own. We sweep them in, and is, oh, fucking hell. Give me a break, man. Give me a fucking break. Kasper's, Castle, Vassell, Collins, Wembanyama. Oh, boy. Well, I don't know if, well, maybe we are just a lot better than everybody else. We finally lose a playoff game. We close them out, and they still give Wemby Finals MVP. That is Hall of Fame glaze right there. Okay, fun way to cap it off, man. Unfortunately, at this point for my Celtics, it feels like 2K rebuilds are the only championships they're going to be getting for the next couple of years. It sucks, man. You know, end of the day, you never want to see anybody go down with an Achilles injury, especially, you know, my favorite player and the leader of my team. But I'm confident he'll be back. He's at an age at 27 years old right now where, you know, it's never easy to bounce back from an Achilles injury, especially, you know, the one he had. But, you know, if you want to, you know, come back from that, it's better to be his age than, you know, say Kobe's age when he had it or Kevin Durant's age when they had it. And both those guys were able to come back, even though, you know, Kobe was never really exactly the same. KD actually in some ways was better than he was pre-Achilles injury. But I'm getting caught off point at this, you know, at this time, man. I really hope that it is a successful and about as painless as an offseason as it can be for the Celtics, but I am fully embracing that changes are coming and kind of just how it goes at this point, man. I'd like to end this video with a special note to CJ McCollum and Grant Williams. Fuck you and your new CBA. Fuck you. As always, thanks so much for watching. Love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.